literally like one of the most awkward things that I have ever had to experience like in my life. I literally cannot believe I'm about to tell this story. My mom is gonna be watching. She is grabbing my corn and I don't know what to do. Like, she's literally grabbing my corn. Hey y'all, it's Bucky and welcome back to the Southern Snacker channel. How are y'all doing on this beautiful Thursday? Y'all, it is raining here in Charlotte, so you'll probably hear the rain on the chimney or whatever. But today we have some more king crab. We got some broccoli, doing a little seafood boil. Got some what's that? Corn on the cob. Some limes, lemons. I was gonna do boiled eggs, but I decided against it. And then here, y'all, this is just basically a lemon sauce. Lemon is the base, lemon juice, and it has some like oregano, some red chili flakes. What else is in there? Some garlic. But it's like, it's not butter, it's just all like a lemon juice. Because y'all, I'm trying to stay away from the butter. Even though during a seafood boil, I just want to like drown it in butter. But I'm like, no, it can be delicious without being unhealthy. And so that's what we're doing today. But as you saw from the title, Lord y'all, I haven't done a story time in a long time. Let's start off with some corn. And I am so nervous about telling y'all this story time. But I was thinking, because so many people, for one, they wanted more story times. And another, they want to know more about, you know, when I used to perform on cruise ships. And just like kind of that life, how that was. And just some stories from that. So I'm going to do that today. And I'm going to tell a story that literally I've told close friends. But I haven't told my family. I haven't told many people because it's funny, but also at the same time, it's embarrassing. Anyways, let's get into it. Let's break open some crab real quick. And then we'll get to that story time. Oh, but y'all, it's a good one. These are the king crab that I had a couple months ago, or maybe a month ago. That came from BJ's when they were closing down. So they are already cracked. Ooh, this is so good. And we did, so I know that I keep forgetting to talk about it in one of the videos, but we do have a winner of the Infested book. As you know, the Infested book, it was written by Emily's sister, Carol Gore, and she signed it in here. Sorry, I don't want to get like king crab juice all over it. But we did pick a winner, and London Explorer, she won. And I sent her a message on Instagram, so once she sends me her address, I'm gonna mail that out to her. Oh my gosh, look, it never fails. Living with girls, y'all see what that is? We find these everywhere. Everywhere. Literally, I like probably have found like 100 of these. It's crazy. Anyways. But yeah, so congratulations, it's a great book. I think you're gonna love it. But I will send that out ASAP. Let's put some lime juice on it. It's been a while since I've had king crab. And y'all know I'm trying to eat a little bit more healthy, doing very like low carb when I can, but I am going to the gym like every day. Oh, I gotta cut this one. But just since I've been going to the gym, I just feel so much better. It's just more so like just feeling better, you know? And even like things that I thought were like semi-healthy that I could eat. Cause like I used to do seafood boils and I was like, oh, this is healthy. And then I like drown it in like the beloved sauce and like tons of butter. And like, I'm just like, you know, especially king crab, it's so good on its own with like a little bit of like, you know, the lemon or the lime. It just like, it's so good. Because you really don't need like a heavy sauce to kind of cover up the flavor. Now I love the beloved sauce. But a little bit of it, I mean, it does kind of cover up a lot of the flavor. I do have some broccoli though, because I was craving broccoli. Now, honestly, we always have a bag of steamable broccoli in the freezer. It's just so good. I put some lemon juice on it. Ooh, let's put some lime juice on there too. I love lime more than lemon. Is anybody else like that? Like, I would rather get like lime water, like if you go to a restaurant and they were like, you want lemon? I was like, can I have lime? I'm like that obnoxious person. All right, should we get into the story? Let's get into the story. Y'all, tonight is gonna be our volleyball league. We're in the tournament now. So literally it could be over. If we lose tonight, then we're done. And it feels like it's only been, I feel like it's so short. Like the time, like I feel like we haven't played that many games. We've maybe played like 5 games. Yeah, I think 5 games, right? Not many at all. And it's $40. I mean, we get a shirt and everything, but it's $40, it goes to charity. But I'm just like, they need to extend it. Like, we need to play longer. Because it's going to be so long until beach volleyball. And I don't want it to be over, because I love it so much. But anyways, if y'all don't know me, hey, I'm Bucky, or Otto. Otto is my real name. That's why on my second channel, it's Otto Reynolds. Fun fact for any like new subscribers, but most of my friends, they all call me Bucky. And I went to school, got my degree in music business with a concentration in vocal performance. So I am classically trained. Even though I don't love singing classical music, that's what I had to do to get my degree. But anyways, long story short, that's a little bit of the background. After graduating, I had a few other jobs, but then I decided, I'd heard great things about performing on cruise ships. And I was like, you know, I want to do that. Like, they make really, really good money. Almost comparable, not to Broadway, like quite, but it kind of is when you think about the living expenses to live in New York, especially for like the low tier of Broadway. Because I think it's like $1,600 a week. It could have gone up. Last time I checked, I think it was like $1,600 or $1,800 a week is the minimum. So if you think about that, cruise ship money, honestly, was not as good, but still it was pretty good for not having to pay any expenses. And so I started applying. I had friends that had worked on Carnival. I had friends that worked on Royal Caribbean. I applied to all of them, but then I heard back from Celebrity Cruise Line. And I was so lucky because I heard back really, really quick. And Celebrity is like one of the better cruise ships to perform on. Yes, y'all know I love when it just pulls out like that. It's like one of the better cruise ships that kind of cater to the performers, especially the singers. So I had my own room. I had like they were like 14-day cruises. We had like 3 or 4 shows. So we had so many days off because we only had to perform those, you know, 4 out of the 12 days or 4 out of the 14-day cruises. I don't think we did any less than 10 days. And it was so nice. I mean, it was just, there was a lot of dead time. Like there was a lot of time that I was just like cooped up in my little cruise ship room. And y'all, that room was so small. So small. But anyways, to get to the actual story, a little bit of background. My contracts were in Europe. So we did the Mediterranean one contract, we did the Baltic. The Mediterranean was probably my favorite just because, you know, we went to Greece, we went to Israel, we went to Malta, we went to, Lord, the list goes on, Italy, France, I mean, just everywhere in the Mediterranean, literally everywhere. But we also went to Turkey. And y'all, I love traveling. It's like my favorite thing. But I don't like to travel. I love to travel, but like get out of like the touristy area. You know, if you've been on a cruise ship, you kind of like, you walk out whenever you dock, wherever it's at. And it's kind of like where the port is, it's a tourist trap. It's touristy. It's not so much like the country that, you know, they'll have like, you know, let's say you're in Mexico. They'll have some like Mexican flair and stuff like right off the ship and like maybe some dancers, singers and stuff. But like that's not really Mexico. So I love like going and traveling and actually experiencing outside of the touristy area. And we went to Turkey. So in Turkey, we didn't port in Istanbul, we ported in Kusadasi. Some of the other ships and some friends that I had, they all went to Istanbul. But we did Kusadasi. And it was such a fun port. Like, it was like, you know, you go to like other places and you're like, oh, this culture, like, you know, I see very like a lot of like similarities, you know, I don't feel, you know, I mean, I don't know how to explain it, but like, I just felt, it felt so different there. Like, it felt so different. Like, the way that like, people would talk to you, like, they were very aggressive. Like, one of the girls, every time, like, my girl singer that was on the cruise ship with me, whenever she would get off the ship, she would get catcalled, and she had like platinum blonde hair, and they would be like, I don't know why they would say it, but they would be like, Shakira, Christina Aguilera. They would like call her the funniest names, and they would like not leave her alone. So it was just funny, like stepping off the ship, they were very aggressive, as they are in a lot of ports, but it wasn't like an aggression that was, you know, it was funny. You didn't feel, you know, it wasn't harmful in any way. But like all the other ports, right around like where the ship drops you off, it just felt, you know, there was like a Starbucks, there was like, you know, some like shops and stuff. But we went there multiple times, and you know, I explored it. There was one time that I even went to a water park that they had there. And y'all, going to a water park in Turkey was like so much fun. They had one of those rides. It was like a, what was it? It was really, really tall. It was like the tallest thing they had. But like, you go into, I've seen them other places too, but this was the first time I'd ever like been on one, where it's like a water slide, but you step into this room and the floor drops out, and then you go down the slide. Have y'all ever been on one of those or seen one of those? It was my first time seeing them, but I've seen them at other places. I've just never actually ridden one. So that was so much fun. and just like seeing, you know, because their culture and their like religion, some people like they would be in full, like the women would be fully covered. So that was like very interesting to see at a water park and stuff too. So that was really cool. But after I'd been there a good while, I'd always heard about Turkish hammams or Turkish baths. And so there was one time I was there, everybody on the ship was like, you need to try one, but don't go to one like right outside the port. Like go actually, if you want to experience like what a real one's like, go further in to like the city and get away from like the touristy stuff. I was like, okay, you know, I'd seen everything and I was like, you know, let's try this out. So many people have talked about it. So one day I went by myself and I just started, I got off really, really early. Yes. We started exploring, or I started exploring, and just kind of walking deeper and deeper into the city, getting away from like all the people that were on the cruise ship and all like the touristy stuff. And I was like, this will be a good idea. Everybody talked very, very highly of it. Let's go do it. So I did. I started walking around. It was really cool. I went and got like coffee at like this legit place. And it was just like so much fun. And I love doing that. In all the ports, that's what I did. I like to just go off and explore and kind of get like the real vibe of like their world, and you know, more so than what you can just get right off the ship. God, this is so good. So I was walking around looking for a hammam. And have any of y'all ever actually been to, you know, they have them like in the States, they have like Turkish baths and hammams. Have any of y'all been to one? It's an interesting experience. It's like a sauna, like spa experience, but not as glamorous. If you see videos, they're like hitting people with like leaves. Have y'all seen those before? I was so excited about that part. I was like, oh my gosh. Like I want, like that looks so cool. So anyways, I was walking, you know, I passed a lot of them because there's tons of them. Then I got to this one and I was like, all right, this looks legit. Like this looks really fun. I saw some people going in there. I was like, let's try this out. Let's see how much it is. Once you get further back into like the real, you know, Kusadasi, they didn't speak English much. So I walk in and I was like looking around, kind of seeing like, you know, what they offered. Really couldn't read anything. So I was like, you know, a massage, and that's all I really said. I was like, you know, a massage, and I would like do that to like, you know, tell them what I'm talking about. Don't you hate when like unknown numbers call you? Hello? Hello? Oh, it's so annoying. Because you know it's like a telemarketer or some, ugh. But anyways, so I go in and I kind of tell him what I'm like wanting. You know, I want a massage, and I want to be like slapped. I forget how I told them that I wanted to like be slapped by the leaves. And I don't know, because it's been a while, but they like showed me around, the person that was at the front, like where everything was, like where the changing room was, where like the bathroom was, the showers, like all that. And then they like where the steam room was, where the sauna was, and then like the room where you lay on like a table and they like slap you. So they showed me all that. So they were like, all right, here's your towels. Get undressed, and then you go to this room. And I was like, okay. Oh, but before that, this is like one of the most awkward things. Literally like one of the most awkward things that I have ever had to experience like in my life. And it was crazy. But after I told them what I was wanting, literally, y'all get this. A line of girls, a line of Turkish women lined up, and that guy, he literally made me pick one. They literally lined up in a line. It was almost like, this is crazy. And I don't think it was anything weird, like, you know, I don't want y'all to think like it was sex trafficking or anything weird. But it almost felt like that kind of idea, like when you see on TV, like people like picking out like prostitutes and stuff and like hookers, how they like, some places that they'll line up. Anyways, that's what it felt like. And it was like, at that moment, I was like, y'all, this is freaky as I'll get out. It was so weird. But anyways, so I was like, I mean, how do I, there was probably at least 12 girls. Or women, not girls. They were pretty much all older too. It wasn't like they were like hot, like Turkish girls. But so that's, it was just a very interesting experience. So I don't remember how I picked, but I just picked one. And they were like, okay. And then that's when they went and showed me like where I change and where I keep my stuff. This is so good. So then that happened. I got changed. I went in and I was like, you know, I changed, got into my towel. And I left my underwear on. Sorry, Mom. Camera went dead. I left my underwear on because I just wasn't comfortable taking them off. You know, when you go get a massage, you can decide if you want to keep them on or take them off. But so I did leave them on. The mailman's always on the phone when he drops off our mail. And it freaks me out. I think somebody's like talking outside the house. Oh, here. But anyways, so I kept my underwear on. I put the towel around me still, and I went and laid down. I can't believe I'm about to tell this story. I literally cannot believe I'm about to tell this story. My mom is going to be watching. Oh my gosh. Okay. So I go to the room, I get on the table, and she comes in and she's like, hey, like, I can't really understand what she's saying. And then she notices that I only speak English and she didn't speak English very well. And so she had like oil and stuff, and she started with the massage. Sorry. I'm actually so full right now. She started with the massage. And, you know, it was nice. It felt good. I was very relaxed. They had some like, you know, some Turkish music on, and I just felt in it. You know, I was like, this is really, really nice. This is like comforting. She was like an older woman too, and she had like these like crazy strong hands. I was like, okay, this feels good. You know, after performing shows and stuff, I was like, this was needed. And y'all, it was only, I think it was like $20, like 20 US dollars for an hour. It was crazy. So I paid for an hour. I think it was roughly 20, because I was like, oh, okay, cool. But anyways, so she was going, like, she started, and then she got down to where she was like massaging my lower, my lower back, and she noticed that I still had my underwear on, and she was like, no, no, no. And I was like, okay. And she was like, no, 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 no. And I was like, what? And she tugged on my underwear. It's like, you have to take off. Like, take off. I was like, okay. So then I was starting to freak out a little bit, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, why? I was like, okay, like, maybe that's just what you do. Like, it's fine. I know that, like, that's a normal thing. So I did it. She walked out of the room again. She was like, be right back. So I did it, and I put the towel back around me. And she came back in a couple minutes later, and she continued the massage. She still, like, she was like right at the top of my butt. Like, it wasn't anything weird. So, you know, it keeps going. And then I was on my stomach at this point. And she tells me to flip over. So I did. You know. And she starts like massaging like my pecs. And all of a sudden, she keeps going lower. So she goes lower, she goes lower. And y'all, she ended up like working like on my legs. So then like she skipped like my midsection and then started working on my legs, and then gradually like working up my legs. And I was like getting ticklish because like anything like above like my thigh, like my high thigh, like I don't like to be touched there. You know what I mean? Like it's just like kind of, I don't know. But so she starts working her way up, and like she's like, as she's like moving up, she like has to move the towel a little bit. Well, she moves the towel, and then she says to me, she's like, oh, I can tell you're not Greek. She's like, I can tell you're not Greek, and she did this. Y'all, as soon as she said, I can tell you're not Greek, and she did this, I about died. Like, I was like laughing on the inside, but also like, oh my gosh, this is so awkward. Like, she literally just looked at my junk and said that to me. But anyways, so it continued. She's kept working on my legs, and maybe like, we're probably what, like 20 minutes in. Yeah, probably 20 minutes in. And she's like continuing, like I'm still on my back. She's like went and massaged my other leg and my feet. And then all of a sudden, like casually, as she's massaging my upper leg, just casually, she would like graze my, you know what? She would graze it. Let's call it something. She would graze my corn. Okay, so she would gradually, as she started massaging the higher leg, she would graze my corn, and I was like, maybe she's doing this on accident. I was like, but I don't know. Like, I'm confused. Like, why did, like, because it'd be like her arm would like touch it. I was like, okay, this is weird. Well, then she, you know, she kept doing it, and all of a sudden, she just stopped like massaging my legs. So it wasn't like she was just grazing anymore. She ended up literally like grabbing the corn and, you know, trying to do stuff to the corn. And when she first grabbed the corn, you know, obviously I was like, what in the world? But I don't know if it was because I was like in shock at first. But she grabbed it and I just kind of like froze. I was like, what is happening right now? I'm in a foreign country, I'm in Turkey. Like, she is grabbing my corn and I don't know what to do. Like, she's literally grabbing my corn. Like, what do you do in this situation when you're in a foreign country and you're getting a massage and they literally go and grab your corn? Like, what do you do? So she was doing it and she would like leave it for a second. She would do it and then like leave it and like go to like massage something else. I was like, this is the weirdest, like this is the weirdest thing. And finally, maybe like 10 minutes of like this, she goes back to the corn and she continues to like make the corn grow. I mean, oh, this is cringy. This is so cringy. I'm so sorry, y'all. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe I'm telling this. So she would try to get it to, you know, she was, you know, doing that sort of thing to the corn. And y'all, at that moment, whenever I knew exactly like this wasn't part of this wasn't like a massage like maneuver that, you know, they teach you. This was something else. She was going for something else. And maybe they thought that that's what I wanted, but it was not. So I jumped up. I had an hour massage. And I jumped up. It was probably 30, 35 minutes in. I was like, I was like, I'm so sorry. I forget exactly how I said it. I didn't tell her like that was the reason. I was just like, oh my gosh, I forgot what time it was. Like, I have to get back to the ship. I'm running late. And I would be like, I'm running late. I'm so sorry. I was like, I gotta go. And I jumped off that table. I went in and got my clothes. I put them on as fast as possible. I think I did leave her a tip like at the front desk because I was going out. I was like, here, give that to her. But I didn't even, I ran out. I just ran out. I was like scarred. It was hilarious like looking back, but at the same time I was like terrified and I was like, this is so weird, like this is freaky, but also it's like really funny. I don't know. So yeah, that happened and I was literally, I didn't tell anybody. Even when I got back to the ship, I didn't tell a soul. They were like, how was your day? I was like, it was great. It was fun. It was awesome. But I just love, like, I can't believe I told y'all because I haven't really told many people. But yeah, so it was the time that they tried to give me a happy ending in Turkey when I was trying to get a Turkish massage. And y'all, I didn't even get the leaves to hit against me. I didn't get to do anything else because I just ran out. I was supposed to, after the massage, then you go and get beat by the stuff. And then you sit in like the sauna, you sit in the like steam room. I didn't get to experience all that, the rest of it. So that was a bummer. But it definitely was a funny story that, you know, I was able to, I have so many stories like that. Well, not like that, trust me, not like that. But so many stories from when I was on the cruise ship. But that one is probably my favorite. Just because it is hilarious and like, what are the chances? I mean, oh gosh. It was just, it was also just so funny because of the language barrier. And it's like, I just wonder like what was going through her mind? Like, what did they think that I was like? Maybe I went into like a weird, you know, maybe they were known for that. Like maybe that was like a place like that, you know, like what was that movie, that TV show that Jennifer Love Hewitt was in? It was like a massage where she did massages and then they did like those types of massages. Maybe I went to a place like that and I just didn't know it and I just thought it was like a normal, like maybe that was a normal thing. Maybe that's why the girls lined up and you picked one like from a line of girls. I'm like, this is weird. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed that story. I I had to think a long time whether I was gonna share it and put it out there because, I don't know, it's one of those stories. It's funny, but it was a story I kind of like just kept to myself for a long time, but not anymore. But anyways, this king crab was delicious. I think I ate a little too much. I should have like only done a couple. But so I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank y'all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this story time. Let me know if you would like to hear other stories about when I was on cruise ships and, you know, things I've encountered. Because there's a lot. I mean, there was one time where I think I'm married in like, I'm pretty sure I'm married in Greece. Like, I think I got married because literally someone like married me. It was the weird, I don't know. That's another story. Maybe we'll go into that in another video. But let me know if you'd like to hear other story times like this. Thank y'all so much for watching this video. I love y'all. Have a wonderful rest of your week and a wonderful weekend. And just remember, when life gets tough, just keep on snacking. Bye, y'all.